All right, so have you ever finished, like, Pride and Prejudice and just thought, man, I need more, like more ballrooms, more of that, that witty banter, more brooding dukes.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. It's a feeling, isn't
It's
it?
a very specific craving.
It is. And today, we're going to dive deep into a list that's going to hopefully scratch that itch. The top 10 Regency Romance audiobooks.
Oh.
And, we're focusing on audiobooks because, like, a really good narrator,
Yeah.
they can just bring you right there into the story.
Absolutely. Into those drawing rooms, the ballrooms. They give so much more depth to every word.
Right. Like a sigh,
Oh, yeah.
or, a little treading remark.
It's a totally different experience. Like, they embody the characters. You hear the sarcasm, the vulnerability. It's really something.
It's a whole different level, yeah. So the list we're looking at today comes from, fellow book lovers who love this genre. And, our goal here is to kind of go through these recommendations, figure out what makes them so special, and hopefully help you find your next great listen. A story with all the wit, the romance, the characters that just stay with you.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. So let's kick things off with Frederica by Georgette Heyer.
Ah, Frederica. I love that one. It's a great place to start.
Yeah.
And, the comparison to Elizabeth Bennet, it's very fitting. Frederica Merrivale, she's got that same spirit,
Wow.
But she's dealing with a whole bunch of siblings.
Oh, wow.
And she doesn't really have much patience for those super serious aristocrats.
Interesting. So it's kind of, someone described it as like Pride and Prejudice meets Home Alone.
Okay.
Right. But like with a Regency twist.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about what Frederica's, up against in this story.
So the main thing is that she's in London to try and find a good husband for her sister. Her sister is, like, stunningly beautiful.
Okay.
And this brings her to the Marquis of Alverstoke.
Okay.
Now, he's known for being a bit of a recluse and also kind of grumpy. So you've got Frederica trying to manage her family, navigate society, and then you've got Alverstoke, who just wants to be left alone.
Right.
And their clashes are just so fantastic.
They sound great. And our source, they were really raving about Clifford Norgate's narration.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He just nails, like, Alverstoke's sarcasm, and then Frederica's just this bright, optimistic energy.
So he really brings those personalities to life.
Absolutely. And that's so important with Heyer. Her writing, especially the dialogue, it's
Yeah.
all about the characters, and Norgate, he gets it.
That's great. And, the source also mentioned some kind of funny moments, like adopting a dog
Oh, yeah.
and a hot air balloon kind of messing up a proposal.
Those are pure Heyer. She's so good at blending the social commentary with, like, these crazy, almost slapstick moments.
Right. So if you're an Austen fan, you'll definitely find something to love here. The satire, the family dynamics.
Totally. But with a hero who's facing a whole different set of problems.
All right. Sounds fun. Let's move on to another Heyer book.
Yeah.
The Grand Sophie.
Okay, Sophie. She's something else. If Frederica is about dealing with existing chaos,
Right.
Sophie, she creates it.
She starts with the chaos.
Pretty much. But, with good intentions.
Okay.
The source called her a Regency-era superhero sent to, like, fix her cousins' lives.
Wow.
And it's very accurate. Compared to, say, Lydia Bennet, Sophie is she's on another level.
She's bolder.
Oh, much bolder.
Interesting. So tell me, what does she get up to?
Well, she gets to London, and she immediately starts meddling, breaking up engagements, bribing people.
Wow.
And her poor cousin Charles, who's very proper, he just exasperated.
It sounds like a lot of fun. And the narrator, Sarah Woodward.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
She really brings out Sophie's charm, even when she's causing all this mayhem.
So it's kind of like Emma Woodhouse, but with more action.
Yeah, you could say that. It's like Emma's meddling, but, with pistols and smuggling thrown in. Smuggling. Okay, so definitely more adventurous than Emma, for sure. But it's still got that sharp social commentary, especially in how Sophie just ignores all the rules.
Right.
And the source mentioned, like, a forged letter and a runaway carriage scene. You can just imagine the chaos.
It sounds wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so next on our list is Slightly Dangerous by Mary Below.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And this one apparently features a hero who's even more brooding than Mr. Darcy.
Now that's saying something.
Right. So tell me about him.
Okay, so Wulfric Bedwin, he's like the ultimate guarded aristocrat,
Yeah.
super reserved, intense.
Right.
And the contrast with the heroine, Christine Derrick, is what makes it so good.
Yeah.
She's warm, kind of clumsy, and not at all like the typical ton lady.
So complete opposites.
Exactly. And we've got Rosalind Landor narrating again.
She's been doing a lot of these.
She's really talented. The source said she's amazing at balancing Wulfric's coldness with Christine's humor.
It sounds like she really understands the genre.
She does, and there's this one scene, a rain-soaked argument, that's very Darcy Elizabeth.
Oh, I love those kind of scenes.
Me too. So much tension.
Yeah.
And, the themes are very Austenian too. Pride, vulnerability, love as redemption.
It's all there?
And there's this sweet moment where Christine teaches Wulfric to dance. It's just really charming.
I like that. All right, next up is Lisa Kleypas's Devil in Winter.
Okay, this one is a bit darker.
Yeah.
It's about a wallflower who agrees to marry a rake to escape a bad situation.
It's very scandalous.
Harry and Evie Jenner, she's got this quiet strength about her.
Right.
While Sebastian St. Vincent, well, he's known for being ruthless, so there's a lot of conflict there.
Definitely. And what about the audiobook?
The source said it's really emotionally powerful. It deals with sickness, redemption, trust.
Heavy stuff.
It is. And Rosalind Landor, she's back again.
She's everywhere.
And apparently her delivery of the line, "I will never leave you," is just heartbreaking.
Wow. So it's kind of like Persuasion with its moral growth?
Yeah, but with darker elements, like gambling dens.
Okay. Interesting contrast.
And there's this one scene where Evie uses a fireplace poker to fight off a villain.
She sounds tough.
She is. Not your typical damsel in distress.
All right, next we have The Duchess Deal by Tessa Dare.
Ooh, this one's fun.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So it's about a duke with facial disfigurement, and he ends up with a seamstress who's known for her wit.
Okay, so a bit of a Beauty and the Beast vibe.
Sort of, but someone described it as Beauty and the Beast meets Bridget Jones.
Which I can kind of see.
Right. So it's got the romance, but also a lot of humor.
Yeah. And the source mentions some feminist themes.
Yeah, the heroine, Emma, she really demands respect, which is refreshing.
Mm-hmm. And the narrator, Mary Jane Wells, apparently she's hilarious.
Oh, she's perfect for this book, especially in the honeymoon chicken scene.
Yeah.
You'll have to listen to find out, but it's funny.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So it's kind of like Elizabeth Bennet's wit mixed with Emma Woodhouse's kind of matchmaking disasters.
Yeah, there's definitely some of that.
That sounds like a great combination. And apparently there's a scene where Emma sews a wedding dress for a dog.
Oh yeah, it's a very Tessa Dare touch. So lots of humor.
And heart, too. She's good at that.
All right, moving on to The Work of Art by Mimi Matthews.
Okay, now this one is described as Austen with a touch of Bronte.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Right, so you've got the elegance of Austen, but with that Bronte-esque intensity.
I like it. Tell me more.
So it's about a shy heiress, Poppy Talbot, and a former soldier, Captain Arthur Heywood.
Okay.
And he's got scars, both physical and emotional. So they find solace in a marriage of convenience.
So it's less about society and more about healing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the narrator, Justine Eyre, she's got this soothing yet powerful voice.
Perfect for the story.
It is. And there's this line, Arthur says, "You are my refuge." It's just so beautiful.
Oh. And the source mentioned a moonlit library confession.
Oh, yeah. Very Mr. Knightley.
Definitely a swoon-worthy moment.
And for added charm, there are puppies. Puppies. Okay, I'm sold. All right, let's talk about The Duchess War by Courtney Milan.
Okay, this one's described as Pride and Prejudice with extra scheming.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
And it's got a very feminist perspective, which is cool.
Nice. So what's it about?
It's about a duke, Robert Blaisdell, who's got a secret, and a wallflower, Minnie Lane, with an even bigger one.
Wow.
So there's a lot of intrigue and hidden agendas. The source called it a chess match of lies.
Love that.
And Minnie, she's actually very intelligent, just hides it well.
Okay.
And Robert, he's got surprisingly radical views for a duke.
So it's not your typical love story.
Not at all. Rosalind Landor's back as the narrator.
Makes sense. She's great.
And she apparently nails the tension, especially Minnie's line, "I am not your pawn."
Ooh, I like that.
Right. Very powerful. And the story touches on themes from different Austen books. Elizabeth's wit, Fanny's struggles, Darcy's guilt.
So it's got depth.
Definitely. And there's a courtroom scene where Robert defends Minnie.
Wow.
And a subplot about servants unionizing.
That's very unique for a Regency romance.
It is. It adds a whole other layer to the story.
Okay, we're getting close to the end of our list. Let's talk about Julia Quinn's romancing Mr. Bridgerton.
Oh, this one is so popular.
It is, right? It's Penelope and Colin's story, isn't it?
Yes. The one where Penelope's secret identity is revealed?
The big lady whistledown reveal?
Exactly. It's kind of like Emma meets You've Got Mail, but with more Regency flair.
So it's got that hidden identity, the slow burn romance.
It's all there. Penelope, the quiet wallflower, is secretly this witty gossip columnist.
Wow.
And Colin, the charming rogue, he starts to see her in a whole new light.
I bet that's fun to see.
It is. Julie Quinn's dialogue is just so sharp and funny.
And Rosalind Landor's narrating.
Of course. And apparently she's great at capturing Colin's, flustered moments.
Like when?
Well, there's this line where he says something like, "Are you jealous of my books?" It's very cute.
That is cute. So what are the Austen connections here?
Well, there's the second chance romance, like in Persuasion. And the humor is very Northanger Abbey.
A good mix.
Definitely. And of course, you've got the big reveal of Penelope's identity.
That's got to be a great scene.
It is. And then there's the "I burn for you" scene in the carriage.
Yeah.
Very romantic.
Very dramatic.
Yeah.
All right, just 2 more books to go. Let's talk about Georgette Heyer's Cotillion.
Cotillion. This one's just pure fun.
Yeah.
It's about a fake engagement, and the hero is, well, he's a bit clueless.
The source said it's like Emma meets the Parent Trap.
That's a perfect description. So Kitty Charing, she's very resourceful.
Okay.
And she basically blackmails her cousin, Freddie, into this fake engagement.
Blackmails, yeah.
To avoid an inheritance issue. And Freddie, he's like this fashion-obsessed himbo.
A fashion-obsessed himbo. That's fantastic.
Right. And Phillida Nash is narrating. She's got great comedic timing, especially when she does Freddie's voice. There was this line, I say, "Are we engaged?" Engaged. Completely. And, it's got some Austen elements, the inheritance theme, like insensibility, and the fake relationship, like in Much Ado About Nothing.
I can see that. So it's like a fun mix of those.
Exactly. And there's a scene where Kitty teaches Freddie to waltz, and then there's a parrot that curses in French.
A cursing parrot.
Mm-hmm.
Very Heyer.
It is. It's a very lighthearted, entertaining book.
All right, and finally we have Sylvester, also by Georgette Heyer.
Ah, Sylvester. This one's got a really clever premise.
Tell me about it.
So, a duke, Sylvester Raine, reads a novel, and the villain is basically him.
Wow.
And he is not happy about it.
Yeah.
So he meets the author, Phoebe Marlowe.
Okay.
And they end up on a road trip together, with lots of bickering and, of course, some romance.
Road trip in Regency, England.
It's as chaotic as it sounds.
Yeah.
And Richard Armitage is the narrator.
Oh, I like him.
He's great. Apparently, he's perfect as Sylvester. Very velvety menace.
Nice.
And he captures Phoebe's wit, too, so you can really hear that battle of wits come alive.
Yeah, I bet. And how is it like Austen?
Well, there's that witty banter, like in Pride and Prejudice, and some of the misunderstandings remind me of Emma.
Okay, so a blend of those.
Mm-hmm. And there's a great scene where Phoebe defends her book, and then a runaway horse chase.
Sounds exciting.
It is. It's a really fun book.
Well, it was a lot of books.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground.
We did. So many great Regency Romance audiobooks out there.
There really are. It's amazing how many talented authors are writing in this genre.
And the narrators, too. They really bring those stories to life.
They do. It's a whole different experience listening to an audiobook.
It is. So if you're looking for more stories like Pride and Prejudice, with all the balls, the banter, the dashing heroes.
And the drama.
Definitely the drama. Well, we hope this list has given you some ideas.
We've got links to all the books and narrators in the show notes.
So make sure to check those out. And as you're listening to these stories, think about what makes them so captivating.
Yeah, what is it about these characters, their world, that draws you in?
Right. Is it the societal rules, the witty conversations, or just the hope of finding true love?
It's a timeless appeal, isn't it?
It is. All right, one last thought before we go. Out of all these heroes, who do you think could actually rival Mr. Darcy?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right. Could anyone actually steal Elizabeth Bennet's heart?
Maybe that grumpy Marquis. Or the reformed rake.
It's fun to think about, right?
It is.
All right, well, until our next deep dive, happy listening.